I told Abby we'd be filming shortly, so she decided to make sure she was perfectly focused on camera. You know me and all, you know I love cats. I have 5 of my own, including little Abby Louise here. Both in LA and New Jersey, I've been really involved in cat rescue in my spare time, which is something that I do partially for me, but mostly because I just love cats and I want to save as many as I possibly can. A traditional cat rescue group is mostly going to be focused on finding homes for homeless adoptable cats. But today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, which is TNR, or Trap-Neuter-Release, where we work to get community cats fixed, vaccinated, and returned back to their outside homes so they can't produce any more teeny tiny little kittens. Community cat or a feral cat, those are cats that don't necessarily have specific homes, but they live outside. Sometimes they're born outside and they've lived there their whole lives. Sometimes they were previously owned and then abandoned. It's a lot safer to keep pet cats inside, so that way they're safe from things like getting hit by cars and different diseases and predators and things outside. But that's not always a possibility for every cat, and that's certainly the case with our community cats that live outside on purpose. There are a lot of reasons that people don't necessarily want cats to be outside, whether this is the noise of 2 cats fighting or doing something else. But the biggest problem by far is that unfixed cats, when they're living outside and they're free to roam around and do what they please, will produce new cats like crazy. About overpopulation, you usually hear the term going at it like bunnies, but truly, cats, just as bad. A female cat can start bearing kittens at only 6 months old. That's pretty much still a kitten herself at that point. Since the average gestation period for a litter of kittens is only 2 months, an unspayed female cat can produce litters of on average about 3 to 5 kittens, up to 3 to 5 times a year. That's a lot of kittens. I know. I love kittens. I want to hold them. I want to kiss their little faces. I love kittens. The problem is there are just too many kittens. The best outcome we can hope for these kittens is that they will find a nice, loving home, but truly, in most parts of the country, there are more kittens and cats than there are suitable homes for them. Honestly, if you don't have a cat right now, head down to your local shelter because I bet your best friend is just there waiting for you. The solution to this major problem is TNR. TNR stops overpopulation right at the source. Ideally, every owned cat should be spayed or neutered. Because even if your cat's totally an indoor cat, you never know. A cat in heat might do anything they can to get out there and try to make more kittens. It's just instinct. This is why Bob Barker always ended every episode of The Price is Right with, "Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets."
Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
It was true in the 90s when I was staying home sick from school, and it is true today. Now, unowned cats, which are living outside, absolutely need to be fixed because nobody is controlling them, keeping them inside, keeping them away from other cats that they're going to start reproducing with. So it is so important to get those cats fixed. Most of the time, those cats are not really social, so volunteers have to go out and retrieve those cats and take them to spay and neuter clinics. That's where a trapper comes in. For the last couple of months, I've been volunteering with an organization called CPAW, Communities Promoting Animal Welfare, New Jersey. CPAW NJ. Yeah. And our whole mission is TNR focused. So what we'll do is we'll find an area that has community cats and we'll take humane traps out to those areas and try to get the cats into the traps so that we can then transport them to a spay and neuter clinic and release them back out into the colony where they live. Outdoor cats can be really unpredictable, so you don't really want to go down and try to pick them up like you would with your pet cat. So traps are really the best way for us to get those cats into our possession. If a community cat is being fed by someone in the area, what we'll do is get in contact with the feeder, figure out the routine that they're feeding the cats, and then we'll just kind of insert our traps into that routine. Ideally, the cats will see the trap with the food in it, and they'll be so focused on the food, they won't even notice that they're going into a trap.
It's a trap!
Once the cat's in the trap, they're nice and safe, and that's where they'll stay for the next day or two. At the clinic, they're going to get their spay and neuter surgery, as well as a basic round of vaccinations, including a rabies vaccine. Oh my goodness! The spay and neuter surgery is minimally invasive, and usually the cats can be released in the next day. While the cat is under anesthesia undergoing their surgery, the surgeon will actually do something called an ear tip, which is where they snip off just the tiniest little bit of their left ear. Don't worry, doesn't hurt them at all. It's just honestly very, very adorable. This ear tip is so important because that lets anybody who sees this cat know that the cat has been fixed. Occasionally, when we're out trapping, a cat will wander into our trap and they already have that ear tip. That just lets us know, hey, this kitty's already been through it. We can release it back. T.N.R is such an important effort to help community cats, but we don't do it alone. We rely on help from the people in our communities. So how can you get involved? If you see an outdoor cat, the first step is just to figure out what its deal is. Is this your neighbor's pet cat who they just kind of let go outside? If the cat isn't owned, is somebody feeding it? Can you talk to that person and find out a little bit more about their routine, what they know about the cat? And more important than anything, try to find out if that cat is fixed. Look for that little ear tip. CPAW operates specifically around Essex County in New Jersey, but there are community cat organizations all across the country. Usually just takes a little bit of Googling to figure out who's closest. T.N.R groups, like a lot of cat rescue groups, rely entirely on donations. So if you want to get involved just in the smallest little way, donate some money to your local organization. It's always welcome. If you really, really want to get involved and you have some time, volunteer. I started off volunteering with CPAW just as a driver. I was just transporting cats from the recovery house to the clinic. Little by little, I started getting more involved, and now I'm actually learning to do some trapping myself, which is a lot of fun. So if you can help and you want to, please consider volunteering. And if you can't volunteer your time or money, that's totally fine. A major thing you can do to help is try to educate other people in your community. Share this video, share information from your local T.N.R groups. Get the word out. Let people know what these community cats need in order to survive and be healthy. All right, that about concludes T.N.R 101. I hope this information was useful. I tried to keep it as concise as possible, which is sometimes difficult when I talk about cats because I can literally talk about them for hours. But if you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to me either through my YouTube channel, or I'm gonna link to CPAW in the description. I'm hoping to do more cat videos in the future, hopefully even take you on a trapping trip so you can see how it really works up close and personal. If you found this video at all helpful, or you just liked seeing my cats in the background, please go ahead and give it a like. And if you have a burning desire to know more about community cats, real estate, or any of the other nonsense I like to talk about every week, please hit the subscribe button. Not only will you be more informed about the topics I like to talk about, but you will be providing me with the validation that I so desperately need in order to survive. I'll see you next time. Bye! It's Kitty in a teacup. That's either a really big teacup or a really tiny kitty. Either way, it's probably my favorite sweater.